Hello everyone, it's Johnny Catrue, and today I listened to the 2021 new stereo mix of Van de Graaf Generator's Godbluff. Van de Graaf Generator are an English progressive rock band who back in the 1970s were making a pretty different noise to their more symphonic and psychedelic peers. Their music is often pretty intense, even aggressive and deeply strange. After being a little bit underwhelmed by the first album I heard from them like 10 years ago, which was 1970's The Least We Can Do Is Wave to Each Other, I ended up enjoying H2HE Who Am the Only One that came out later that year quite a bit more, thanks to its heavier and more memorable songwriting. But it was with 1971's Pawn Hearts that I really became a fan. It's a really satisfying album in the close to the edge mold of a couple 10-minute tracks and a 20-minute behemoth. Love that album. But after that one, Van de Graaf Generator actually took a 4-year break, and when they came back, their sound had changed quite a bit. Godbluff came out in 1975, and when I first heard it a couple of years ago, I found it quite inaccessible, but it was intriguing. So when I saw that the album had been re-released last year with a brand new remaster and a new stereo mix, I figured this would be a great opportunity to give the album another chance. The rest of this video will be highlights from my live stream over on Twitch where I listened to this new version of the album in full for the first time. And you can follow me over there on Twitch if you'd like to join us for some full album listening parties. So do me a favor and click the like button on this video and let's get into the album. Starting with track 1. The Undercover Man.
All the habitual farce. Right. To the undercover man.
Nice, glad to find I do remember the song.
Set in the context of time. Oh, but a shark it dragging on the dam.
Peter Hamill's confidence in his vocal style by this point is off the charts.
It's crack. When the madness comes, let it flood on. You still have time, you still have time.
There's a lot I like about that. There are some moments in particular that really work for me. However, there is a kind of frustration I feel, which I think I remember listening to this a few years ago. I feel it's always building. There's all this tension and there's all this drama being built up, but it doesn't properly release for me. There is that jam about 6 minutes in. It's not quite enough for me. I wish it did more. I wish it had a bit more impact. Peter Hamill's vocal performance is masterful, but again, does leave me slightly cold. You know, it doesn't quite move me or take me somewhere. I wish I felt it more. In fact, in that way, it reminds me of The Least We Can Do Is Wave to Each Other. I like the style of it, and there are lots of great melodic moments, but on the whole, it just doesn't quite lift me. You know, it doesn't, I'm not taken away entirely. Still, I do like it, and I'm always wondering, is it going to suddenly reveal itself after a few more listens, you know? Okay, so we had a really nice transition into track 2. So let's get into that now. This is track 2, Scorched Earth.
What is past wonders what he's doing on this battle.
Fuck, this sounds good.
Charging madly forward, tracks across the snow.
This is already more satisfying than anything in track 1 for me. I love it when Van de Graaf do these kind of atonal riffs. Love the organ. Very nice. Yeah, I found that whole track very satisfying, especially compared to track 1. Just so many heavy hitting moments, some really incredible vocal lines by Peter Hammill. I mean, the level of passion in his singing on this is pretty out of this world. But yeah, I have to admit the highlight was the instrumental jam towards the end with the organ really pinning it down and making it feel so heavy. Yeah, I was really into that. Felt like it brought things home, which makes for a great A-side to the record. Fairly memorable tune as well, although I maybe still feel that it feels slightly unstructured. It's almost like a stream of consciousness in music. Nevertheless, very exciting track. Got a lot out of it. All right then, guys, let's carry on with the album. We're flipping over the vinyl onto side B and starting it with track 3, which is called Arrow. This is starting off very strange. It's like a beautiful harmony building from the noise, emerging, if you like.
Stop towers in the distance, riders cross the blasted.
Peter Hammill sounds angry.
Fickle promises of treaty, fatal harbingers of war across the marshy mud landscape.
Little bluesy there for a second.
And beat against the flagstone, fingers
I love Peter's vocals in this one. Heavy as fuck, this tune. He's almost sounding monstrous at this point.
I'd like to help you somehow. How long the time seems.
Love this chord sequence here. Yeah, that was fantastic. The Undercover Man seems kind of quaint in compared to track 2 and 3. But especially Arrow is just, wow, so heavy, so angry and aggressive. Strange thing is, I don't remember Arrow as well as I remember the first 2 songs, but I loved it. I really liked it, so it's probably going to stick in my mind more now. You know, some of my favorite Van de Graaff moments from the past, like on Porn Hearts and H2HE, are the heavier moments. I think they're very good at that. And yeah, Arrow feels like they took it to an extreme. Just one track left. Track 4 is called The Sleepwalkers. Oh damn, I remember this straight away. Fantastic riff.
Prematurely curtailed by the brain.
Bizarre harmonies. What the fuck?
Round they tread would give way beneath the solemn weight.
Groovy. This almost sounds like something Deep Purple would do.
To the drop from Lover's Leap.
Oh, that's good.
Take hold on its vein. Lashes flicker.
So dramatic. Wow, that one definitely ended as strangely as it began. Funnily enough, I remembered quite a lot of that song. Seems it's surprisingly one of the more memorable tracks for me. Also found the structure very satisfying. It kind of addressed some concerns, feelings I had about some of the earlier tracks, that it really had that kind of tension to it that was always building to something. Felt really good every time it hit those peaks. The Sleepwalkers might actually be my favorite on the album, just because I found each part so compelling, and the way it moved from each part to the next was really exciting. Maybe the part that I compared to Deep Purple was a little overly simple. Like I wish they built more on top of it more quickly instead of just presenting the groove. But yeah, a great track, really well constructed and with so much heaviness that I was really into. Now looking back over the album, I'm kind of remembering having this feeling that you put the album on, or I put the album on, and I feel like this isn't really doing it for me. Like, it sounds pretty cool. I like the vocal performance. I like the sound of it, but it's not satisfying me. But the further you go into the album, the more satisfying it gets. I remember having that feeling, and I definitely got it again this time. I think that the new stereo mix didn't necessarily improve it. It wasn't like this big, amazing change that suddenly brought it to life for me. If anything, I'm just remembering what I loved about the album in the first place and thinking that, oh, this wasn't as inaccessible as I remembered it being. But I don't think that has anything to do with the new mix, really. It sounds to me like they've just cleared it up a little bit. As I said, I noticed that some of the recording noise was taken out, which, you know, is nice. But I don't think it helped the album have more impact. If anything, it might have weakened it a little bit. So when I return to this couple more times and give it a rating, I'm probably going to go for the original mix. Maybe I'll check out the 2021 remaster of the original mix. Rather than this being a listen to a new stereo mix that's like brought the album to life or something for me like I was perhaps hoping, instead it's just been another listen to this album where I feel I've got a little bit more into it than I was before. You know, penetrated a little more into the structures and understood a bit more what the band was going for here, which I think is something quite different to what they were going for in their earlier years. It's trying to subvert me, I feel, a lot of the time. Like it's trying to go against my expectations. And I think in my earlier listens, I found that quite disconcerting, whereas this time I found it fun. I got quite into it. I was quite happy to let them take me to all these strange places. I feel that the album continues to grow on me, and I'm going to enjoy listening to it a few more times, I think. And hopefully it's going to really click into place eventually. I can feel it coming. So leave a comment down below to let me know what you think of Godbluff. And if you missed the live stream and would like to see the full unedited reaction, you can find it over on my Patreon. Whichever tier you support me at, you get access to the full archive of unedited reactions, and you'll be helping me to be able to keep my channels going and keep making these videos. So I really appreciate it. Thanks very much to all my current supporters on Patreon, and thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take it easy.